5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's the new Panic Room. It's the show other shows want to be, and the show that authors want to be on.
Robbie. Youth, why are you talking like that? We're from Stoke. I know, but I can't stop here, Pally. Like the wallpaper sticks to the wall, and like the sea shark clings to the sea, like you'll never get rid of your shadow, you'll never get rid of me. Let all the others fight and fuss. Whatever happens, we've got on me. Closer than pages that stick in a book. Mine. We're closer than shadow. Wherever you'll find him, you'll find me. Just look. Closer than a miser, all the bloodhounds to miser me. Closer than Smog is to all of L.A. Closer than Ricky to confessing he's gay. Not a soul can bust this team in two. We stick together like glue. When it's sleeping time, that's when we rise. We start to swing. You think you're so just you? Clocks don't chime. What a surprise. They ring, a ding ding, Happy New Year, me. Not to repeat what I said at the start. Still need a large crowbar to break us apart. We're alone but far from blue. Before we get finished, we'll make the town rock. We'll hit a few late spots and then a few more. We'll start out as stringies and maybe Groucho. Life is gonna be a wow wowee. For my shadow and me. Woohoo! You love me. Can we do that again? No, I'm too tired. Oh, please, Rob. No, I'm swung out. Oh, come on. I'll give you some money. I don't need money. What about a cup of tea? Not thirsty. I won't tell anybody you're gay. Before we get finished, we'll make the town rock. We'll hit all the late spots and then a few more. We'll start out as stringies and maybe Groucho. Life is gonna be a wow wowee. For my shadow and me.
The all-new Panic Room radio show is brought to you by hellboundbooks.com.
Well, it is the Panic Room episode 166, and it is I'm going to have to check again, it's the 5th of December 2019, which means it's almost Christmas, 20 days to Christmas, and I've bought absolutely fuck all so far, so thank goodness for Amazon. There was a time I used to brace myself and go and fight a throng at Toys R Us, but although to be fair, Toys R Us is great right now because it's empty in many ways, but I feel bad because I'm one of the millions that have contributed to the demise of such as the high street stores, because I literally just get everything on Amazon. Absolutely. I very rarely leave the house now, which is very Howard Hughes of me. So it's all good stuff. Anywho. I'm literally just got in. So this is more last minute than usual for me. But and as usual, no idea what the fuck is going on. But Here's a great segue for you. I know exactly who does know what's going on.
Come on, I'm with you.
Yippity-doo. How are you this evening, Xtina?
I am good. I am so
anyway,
jolly.
enough about you. Let's talk about me now, shall we? So you do go on. So you can probably tell. I meant to apologise to the listener. I'm stuffed. I've had a lousy head cold all week that I caught off Typhoid Mary. We call her, my little girl, because she brings something home and then she's sort of well again in like 24 hours, and I've been like this since fucking Sunday.
Yeah.
And I've actually having to wipe my nose on my t-shirt, which is very inhuman. It's terrible, isn't it? I've just been coughing and I'm literally the past week I've functioned pretty much on cold meds, and I find of an evening, curl up in bed with a nice stiff one.
Yeah. It works better than medicine.
Not what you think. Not what you think. No, it's funny. I tried all the throat medicines and everything. The best thing is I buy the cheapest, nastiest, cheapest shit brandy money can buy. But this is like $8 for a litre bottle stuff. The sort of stuff you would use to clean your toilet with. And it's brilliant, and it's funny because I discuss, and it helps, whether the alcohol helps to kill the germs or it soothes your throat. And it's funny because I thought I'll try something, a nice Paul Masson or whatever, some Napoleon brandy, and the nice smooth brandy just doesn't do it. It's got to be the stuff that would literally strip pain. And, just a little touch of that before bed. And it does, it helps. It means I'm not laying awake all night coughing with a bad throat. So I need an excuse to drink brandy in bed. But I'm an adult. I'm a grown-up, which means I can drink brandy in bed. So who's going to say anything, really?
Yeah, nobody. Nobody can say anything. I like NyQuil. I do. I'm a NyQuil girl. I can down a bottle
many years back in England, I tried NyQuil. I think it might be called something different there. And I remember one night I took one tablet and it was like, no, this is shit, nothing. Next night I took two. Woke up about 11 o'clock the next day. And I was fuzzy-headed for the rest of the day about God knows. I think that's a massive dose of antihistamine, isn't it?
Yeah, that's why. Yeah. Well, I take it as a little shot class. Hey, if medicine doesn't come in a little shot class, it's just not the good stuff. And
you put a rollie in it, make it look nice.
Yeah. It's like having like really disgusting alcohol, So I swig back some NyQuil and I'm good.
Yeah, I'm terrible. I've got to be feeling pretty rough before I take any. I'm just not big on taking tablets, and I mean, which in the American culture of everything's go to the doctor, get a pill. I'm terrible. I actually went out because I had to get some medicine for my daughter, and I thought I'm going to give in. I'll get some because just so I can function through the day because I'm just my nose is and I'm just feeling like crap and it's kind of gone on my sinuses a bit. So you're trying to concentrate when all I want to do is just curl up and sleep, But that's the problem, So obviously in our line of work, if you don't do it, it doesn't get done. You can't delegate it. I mean, I know I delegate a lot of shit. To be fair, all the crap I don't like doing goes your way, which is nice. I like that.
I can tell.
I think I'm honest about it, but having said that, I mean, that was when we looked at doing audiobooks, and I thought, that's a lot of work. I thought that's a lot. Who do I know is stupid enough to take that on? But
I was excited too.
we have now got, I think it's 30 titles. It might be more now.
Yeah.
Everyone has been lovingly managed by you. I've had very little input. I think all I do is I do the cover. I think I do the cover art. Is that it? Which is not difficult because I have the cover art and it takes like 5 minutes to not the audio book cover art together. That is my input. And I single-handedly have launched and managed our audiobook division. So good on you.
I love it.
If I wasn't such a tight bastard, I'd buy you a bottle of champagne, but I am. So
every time that
my praise be present enough.
Every time a title goes live, we get the email. It feels like I'm having a child or something. Coming into the world, and I said, great. It really is. I love the feeling.
With some of them, I think it would have actually been quicker to have had a child.
I'm telling you, that's true.
We've got some that have dragged on a little bit, but hey ho, But on the whole, the narrators are fantastic. I mean, you picked some we've had a couple on the show, and they are phenomenal people, and they're right. And it is, and it's funny if I was reading an article the other day over in England, they're predicting that for the first time, audiobooks. I mean, this is England. Audiobooks are going to surpass ebook sales.
Wow! Wow!
It's a massive part of the market, and I'm delighted that we got in on it. We give that to our authors. We do that for our authors, and they also becoming audiobook stars. So, but anyway, speaking of Donald Trump, and we are now, obviously. So it had to be mentioned that he literally threw a tantrum at the NATO summit because the Canadian Prime Minister was talking to, I think, Princess Anne and Mattern from France. And they're basically making fun of Trump because he decided to hold an impromptu press conference to tell everybody how good he was. And he's thrown Teddy out and, cut it short and cancelled this and that. And so I think in honor of Donald Trump, just, he plays the hard man. He tries to say he's the bigly better of everything, really, really, really. When really he's worthy of grabbing himself, if you know what I mean. But in honor of Donald Trump, here we go.
I really believe I'd run in there even if I didn't have a weapon. Nobody knows the system better than me.
Nobody knows politicians better than I do.
Nobody knows. Nobody's better.
Nobody's stronger. There's nobody bigger or better at the military than I am.
I love the First Amendment. Nobody loves it better than me. Nobody loves the Bible more than I do.
There is nobody that respects women more than I do.
Nobody builds walls better than me.
Nobody's in the history of this country has ever known so much about infrastructure as Donald Trump. Nobody knows that better than me.
Nobody even understands it but me.
Nobody can do it like me.
Which is why I alone can fix it. I have Ivy League education, smart guy. I know words. I have the best words.
You're like, I'm a smart person. It's this. It's not my salesmanship. It's what? This. You know what that is? the brain power.
I'm getting thousands of letters and tweets that I was right about the whole situation. I mean, I've been right about a lot of things, frankly. I should be a newscaster because I called it before the news.
I watch this stuff. You know, I'm like a guy with vision. I have an instinct for this kind of thing. I'm good at war. I've had a lot of wars of my own. I'm really good at war. In my book, I predicted terrorism. It's a rigged system. I think I've done a great service by pointing this out. I was the one that really broke the glass ceiling on behalf of women. I think I'm doing the military a great favor. Did a great job in Texas, a great job in Florida. I truly believe that the first 100 days of my administration has been just about the most successful in our country's history. It looked like 1.5 million people.
Thank you, everybody. What a crowd, what a turnout.
I understand steaks. It's my favorite food, and these are the best.
It keeps me from running, but just keep it coming. Have to learn to do the things you do. Nobody does it better. Makes me feel sad for the rest. Nobody does it half as like you, baby, darling, you're
Hey, a president. Can you believe it?
Well, I got perfectly put. No, I don't think anybody can fucking believe it, to be honest with you, but good old Trumpmeister General, what a twat, I have to say. What a speaking of, sorry, I don't think it's coughing. Speaking, you know when you're driving down the road and you get these people and the car does that, you know, and you think, wanker. That's me now. I got my new car, and it does that. It's got like the twin exhaust thing going on, and what have you. And you know, you tap the old accelerator, and you get that. And somebody actually catcalled me this evening. I was coming home. Somebody catcalled me. It's like, yeah, he thinks I'm a twat. Brilliant. I love it. So that is me. I am that guy. I am that guy.
Yes.
But,
goals. You got to have goals. Yeah.
But yeah. so anywho, we've got a bit of a. I'm not been looking forward to this actually, and I don't look at my age. I don't look forward to much, you know. I obviously look forward to getting up at 2 a.m. for a pee. Naturally, that's always. And
that's the best one.
I always have to sit down because I don't like putting the light on. If I didn't put the light on, it'd be everywhere. To be honest. So I always have to sit down and you know, but it's fun. It's a fun. It's out for me.
It's the best pee of the whole day, I think, is that like 2 a.m. one.
No. The best pee is the first pee in the morning. The first one in the morning. You crawl out of bed, just you know. And I like to do my first pee in the shower, to be honest with you. And sometimes I even put the shower on, but you know, not always.
Oh wow, gross.
So.
God. Yeah.
Xtina, I'm assuming we have a show. And I was not kidding. What time did I get? I got it at about 9:10 this evening. So I have no idea what's going on. So do enlighten me.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to say that because, you know, I thought you might be a little late or, you know, what have you, I had written down a little kind of like monologue thing that I was, you know, because I have to have notes. Yeah.
Do it now.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say, you know, good evening, welcome to the Panic Room Radio Show. I'm your hostess, and you know, and I forgot to put down what my name was there. Anyway, I was gonna say, and if you're a frequent flyer of our show, I know. And if you're a frequent flyer of our show, you'll know that this is James's part, but he's running late, and you're stuck with me. And for all of our sakes, I'm just hoping that I push the right button. Because even if I say we'll take it out and post, let's face it, that never happens. And and then this is my favorite part. I thought this was really funny. I was going to say during this portion of the show, James, you would be talking about current events. And you know, if it didn't happen on a rerun of Friends, I'm just not in the loop. And that is so true. I have been watching, you know, Friends That's all I'm watching, and I have no idea what's going on in the world. We could be being bombed or anything could be happening. And, this is the season where Rachel's pregnant with Ross's baby, and it's my favorite season. So, I'm really invested right now in Friends. Anyway, yeah.
Thanks for that. That was great. Well, I bet our listener is pleased that he didn't have to listen to that drivel. Be honest.
I know, but they still had to listen to it anyway.
Again, we can take, and you're right. I always think we're taking out in post, and today I've taken nothing out in post at all, ever. Yay! There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Yes, we do have a show. And I'm excited because, we have a guest who's returning for like the 100th time, and I'm really excited because we have such a great time with her. It's P. Mattern is on our show tonight, and she's brought with her. Yes, she brought with her a guest, and we do. We love her. We do. We love her.
Do.
So should I, do a formal thing, and then you can bring her on? Is that what we're gonna do?
Who else? You said we're having the Toozer. Who's the other one?
Yeah. Well, we're going to do P first, and I think she wants to introduce her friends.
Right,
another author.
I've got two numbers here, and I can't be bothered to. Which one's P? I've no idea.
I'm not going to rattle off her phone number online.
Well, no, just the last two numbers, for goodness sake.
Oh, okay. 95.
Right. Okay. That I will take out in post because that was very unprofessional of me. But had I not been, I would have prepared that. Had I not been literally dashing, I was out at a meeting and the kids said the minute I leave the house, and it's not often, it's like a queue for them to want stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I had to swing my Subway, which is what otherwise I'd have been in plenty of time because my Subway's still on the table. The dog's probably had it by now, but I'm going to be having my meatball marinara at sort of 11 o'clock at night. So, and I've had a muffin. I had a chocolate muffin for my lunch, a stale chocolate muffin at that. So that was fun.
Yeah.
So, hey, without further ado, as illiterate people like to say, introduce our first guest, Xtina.
Our first guest is returning horror writer P. Mattern. Woo!
P!
Hey, happy Merry Holidays, y'all.
Hey, y'all. Happy, yeah, don't. Bloody Christmas. I hate Christmas music. It's everywhere. That's how I was at Subway. And they play Christmas music. I just, no. Don't put that on.
Yes.
Don't.
I'm playing Christmas music already. I am.
Horrible.
Oh, I like it. Even though they played Last Christmas by George Michael 15 times while I was making cookies. Good thing I like the song. That's all I can say. Hey, I've had to apologize to James because, time got away from me, and you're not getting your Mars bars till December 20th.
Oh, just in time for Christmas. That is fine, thank you. I shall hang them on my tree.
Yes.
No, I shall hide them from the children again. Because last time, I made the mistake of not hiding them well enough in the fridge because I like my chocolate refrigerated. And yeah, my kids. I managed to. I mean, they didn't have all of them, but they're like sort of plague of locusts, and they just descend and in their wake, just like an empty fridge and pantry. I don't know what they do with it all.
Aww.
Eat it.
Well, this time, make sure you hide them better. And, of course, I always like to give a host and a hostess gift to you guys. So James gets Mars bars, and Xtina is going to get some signed books. How does that sound?
I love books. I do. I remember the first time we had you on the show, and you sent candy to James, and I got books, and I remember thinking we need to have P on every week. I think that would be a great idea.
Hey! Sounds good to me.
I know. And we do. We have so much fun with you. So we definitely need to do it more often.
That's really kind of you to say. You guys are just the best, and you're just so excellent at what you do, and the show is always big fun. And you're kind of balls to the wall, and I love that. No filters. And speaking of no filters, R.D. Tremble is known as the filterless.
Wow.
He has his own show. It's called Writer Circus on Facebook, and he has no filter. In fact, he has a day that he dubs No Filter Friday, where you can expect anything. So he's a lot of fun too. And he'll be here later.
Awesome. Well, to be honest, every day's No Filter Day with me. I mean, you should hear she's been on the show, my daughter, and she has no filter at all. Absolutely. That's the house here. There's just yeah. But it's good. I mean,
we enjoyed that. Yeah, we learned something. We learn too much information about you almost every show, and that's great fun. I enjoy that. Now we know about the peeing in the shower.
Doesn't everybody do that? You'll be telling me that.
Madonna said everybody does that.
Yeah, you'll be telling me that you're not supposed to go poo-poo in the shower as well. I mean, sometimes you have to prod it down the grate with the end of the toothbrush, but it goes down eventually.
Oh my God! Oh, well, you know what I was thinking about today?
Mhm.
I hope not that. Yeah.
You never know.
I was thinking about Tenebrion today.
Oh, were you? What a fine.
Yes.
What a fine piece of literature, if I do say so myself.
Oh, my God, it's the best. And, I am so embarrassed to say that even though I read it and I really want to reread it, I just left my review today.
Oh, seriously? Well, but better late
It's a little late. I'm sorry, but Merry Christmas, right?
Right,
Thank
right.
you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go read it now, actually. So talk amongst yourselves.
Oh my God, it's so good, James. Oh, but maybe you must already know that. Anyway, I loved it so much. I wrote kind of a really short jingle about it. Do you want to hear it?
Oh yes, I do.
It's holiday themed. I know you hate Christmas songs, but maybe you'll like this one, okay?
Okay, go for it.
And I can't sing, by the way, but I'm going to sing it anyway.
That's never stopped anybody in this show, ever.
Okay. Tenebrion, you're scarier than Krampus. Tenebrion, you'll terrorize the Watsonville Elementary campus. A filmmaker with lofty goals will call you from your dark hellhole. Oh, Tenebrion, you'll kill them in a rampage.
Woo! Yay! That sounds awesome! I love that. Thank you for the review. That is wonderful. Oh,
thank you. You inspired me.
That is brilliant. Thank you. We now we have it on the show. We can play that again. That's great.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm delighted you enjoyed it. It was a pleasure to write as well. It is one of my favorites, So, and yeah, I mean,
well, you know what pisses me off? You write better for my money than Lovecraft. I'm sorry, you do. And a lot of other writers, and it needs a movie. I mean, somebody help. This thing needs to be made into a movie. Yeah. I love it.
It was good. I read it, and
funnily enough, it actually started life as a screenplay. I wrote it as a screenplay, and it was very close to being picked up by an independent production company over in England. I found an agent purely by it just happened to be in England. And it was a close run thing. But I mean, you know, sadly it didn't happen. And I thought it was a great story. I want to develop it, and you know, the novel was born. So yeah, it really should be a movie. I had a guy, friend, I guess, who knows Jason Blum, and so there's a copy of it on Blumhouse's desk somewhere. But again, that was a while ago. So you never know. I would love to see it as a movie. It would be perfect.
Yeah.
Really you never know. It could happen any time. And I don't know if you've noticed the crap that they're churning out now. And even the better stuff is kind of weak in the story arc and the pacing and the endings. And Tenebrion has everything.
It does. It does. It was great. And it scared me.
Well, here's a funny thing. With a writer friend of mine was a beta reader for it, and he got some of the parts where they're actually performing the Black Mass. He actually skipped over that because he thought if by reading it, he might invoke something. So, and this is a grown-ass adult guy, and he was a little bit worried he might, just by reading it quietly, he'd invoke a demon, which is great. What a testimony, you know. So, well,
before I read it, you said it was authentic, so I hate to tell you, but I'm a scaredy cat. I read a little, you know what I mean? I kind of read it, you know, with one eye closed. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's thrills and chills and everything a horror fan would want. Y'all, if you're listening, go get a copy. It's awesome.
Buy the book, people. It's available from Black Bedsheet Books. You can get it on Amazon. It's also available from Hellbound Books on audiobook. And it is Xtina picked the perfect narrator for it, and it makes for a brilliant, spine-chilling. Anyway, so we're here. We want to talk about. People are here to plug my books. I mean, it's nice. But, hey, so what have you been up to since we last spoke? If we're going to call you P, and the other guy is what is it? RD. I'm J, and Xtina is X. So we're all like sort of Men in Black.
Okay, cool.
Men in Black characters tonight. So P, tell us what you've been up to, my dear.
Oh my God! Last year I wrote I now have 100 things up on Amazon, novels, novellas. I've been writing my tail off because I'm so old. I don't know if I was ever in my right mind. I don't know how much time I've got left, but I've got all these books that I want to write, so I'm writing them. And last year I think was 15 novellas, 2 full lengths, and a whole bunch of short stories.
Wow! How do you manage that? Seriously, how do you find time to do that?
I'm retired. I mean, I had a regular career as a behavioral health specialist, you know, for 20 years, and then I got laid off, and it was my chance to write down all these stories I scribbled all over the place, and so I finally did that, and so here it is, going on 6 years. I've got SHIT ton of publications out there, and recently my Christmas one's a novella, one's a short story, but I had a Christmas short called It Came, and it hit #1 on Amazon in its category, and then yes, thank you. And then Mistletoe and Fangs, which was a vampire one, it also hit #1. So I'm really tickled about that. And I found out way after the fact, because I've been writing so hard, I hardly stood my head up to pay attention that I'm, through an anthology I was in, I became a Smashwords USA Today, Happily Ever After Hot List author. So,
wow.
We got some little, pats on the head this year. But the biggest thing is that I have a readership that I just adore. They're wonderful. They're honest. They're loyal. I consider them my friends as well as my readers. And I don't use the word fan. I just don't, because I feel like I'm their fan.
Right, no, I get that. Yeah.
That happens is because of them. So, I just adore them. And I also, a lot of my publications, I co-wrote several novellas with Lynn Lagaki-Gauthier, and also L. Ashby. Lynn writes as L. Gauthier. And we wrote A House in Vermont in your Demons, Devils, and Denizens of Hell 2 from
I remember that. Was great. I love that story. I love going back a little bit.
Well, thank you, because it's becoming a full-length novel, and it's going, we both agreed right off the bat, this has to be published by Hellbound Books. So I hope you love the final product. We're working hard, and we've expanded it.
I'm all excited. I am frisky. I'm frisky now.
He's excited, yeah.
I'm excited. Things are twitching, I have to say.
Aw, well, that's sweet. What I loved was when Xtina, the ex-woman, when she read it, she said that she got chills, especially at the ending. So,
yeah,
I think we did a really good job there.
I think for me, a haunted house story, that is like that's my stuff right there. I mean, if I'm looking for a book to read, or especially horror or something, or a movie, haunted houses, they get me. They really do. They really get me. Anything haunted, because I think that especially growing up, I grew up Baptist, and we're really strict. Demons and devils and just terrify me, possessions and that so. No, even to read it, it's probably the scariest for me, but I love it. I do. I love it. And I do remember reading that story, and the ending, chills. I really, it just had, I don't even remember what it was now, but there was just this impact at the end. This, it could have been even the last sentence that I was like, oh, that is so good.
Yeah, it was pretty much the last, 4 sentences. And
yes, it was amazing.
But anyway, I think anybody listening should pick up a copy of that anthology. And there's 2 of them. I was honored to help, compile and edit it from Hellbound Books, Demons, Devils, and Denizens of Hell 1 and 2, and chock full. Of course, James is in there too, with his excellent literary quality stories. And horror stories, and everybody should run and pick up both of those. They're just awesome.
I agree.
Why the books, people? I can't. Sorry, I'm just racking my brains. I can't remember which story I had in that. I'm going to have to look it up. I have to dig my copy. It's been that. I mean, it's been 2 years since that came out. This is we are coming. Hellbound Books is coming to the end. We're just coming to the end of our 3rd year. Can you believe that? We actually start kicking off next year is year 4. We're becoming. I mean, again, we've seen that many come and go since we've been around. We're becoming the sort of the old hands on it now. It's like we always wow, yeah.
Well, Hellbound Books has a reputation for some of the best authors and the best quality.
Yeah, I agree.
We are onwards and upwards. We are in working on it to launch just before Christmas our first non-fiction, and we're doing it in conjunction with Crystal Lake, and some of the authors on that are, we've got Lisa Morton, we've got Ramsey Campbell, we've got some serious players.
Absolutely.
We've published Richard Chismar, Guy N. Smith, the late great Jack Ketchum. Yeah, it's just like, wow, you know, I guess we not really take it for granted, but it's all part of the, you know, the daily thing. But we sit back and look at it and what we've done. It's like kind of. I mean, Guy Smith was a big one for me. He was in our Made in Britain anthology because obviously I grew up reading his crabs books. It came on the back of because he's very James Herbert-esque, you know, but his was crabs instead of rats, and it was splatterpunk. It was very well written, lots of blood and guts and that. And here we are, you know, so many years later, publishing a short story. It's like, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, it's great. You know, it's like, you know, working on your hobby full time, which is nice.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The other thing I'd like to do, keeping in the same spirit of, you know, Christmas creepers, and I love Christmas horror. I've got to say that. But I would like to read some dark poetry from the Princess of Dark Poetry, Xtina Marie. May I?
As long as does it rhyme? Does it rhyme?
It
better do.
Sort of,
yeah.
Yeah, it does.
I will cut you off.
But that's not what you notice about it. What you notice about it, and I'll have a question for Xtina after I read some of this, okay? What you notice about it is what a perfect little story arc it contains. You know, it grabs you, it you know, shakes you, and then it, like, ends you. Okay?
Yes.
So, without further ado, here's a good one.
Go for it.
Because you never know what's coming down the chimney next. Through the back door he creeps, smells the holiday cheer, sees confusion in her eyes as she looks at him with fear. Brandishing his cleaver, he hums, "Oh, Christmas tree," shivering in delight as she fights to get free. She begs for her life while he hacks her to pieces. Blood spatters on the nativity and defiles baby Jesus. Her feet thrash and kick in stockings of green and red. She lies in a pool now, knowing soon she'll be dead. The colorful lights blink and cast shadows on the walls. Her screams die down as he whispers, "Deck the halls."
Oh,
I love that.
No, that was one of Xtina's. I must admit, she sent me the book. I never bothered reading it, to tell you the truth. But
here's another one. Okay, that's excellent. But here's another one. Molly. Under the Christmas tree, Mary Beth plays with her new dolly, stroking her soft hair, whispering, "Your name is Molly." She takes her everywhere, holding on to her real tight, kissing her on the cheek and telling her good night. Jingle Bell Rock plays softly from the next room, and Mary Beth hugs Molly. She'll be asleep real soon. Nightmares creep in. She tosses and turns, hearing the screams and smelling flesh as it burns. Molly's eyes stare blankly as Mary Beth cries in fear, but the Christmas music plays on, and no one can hear. The next morning, the girl is listless and quiet. She gets scolded for the first time, okay. Don't leave me though, for being defiant. The snow starts to fall, covering the ground in brilliant white. Mary Beth can be heard messing up the words to Silent Night. She clutches Molly as she roams the still house. The only creature stirring is a child, not a mouse. In Mommy and Daddy's room, she stares at them thinking, whispering to Molly, but she stares back, unblinking. She lights the match, throws it onto the floor, says, "I wanted the dolly with the red dress. Lots more." Oh my God! What a take on the night before Christmas. Hello?
I love that. I didn't know you said
it's fantastic.
I didn't know. People say she's good, but, you know. You know, I just thought it was self-aggrandization, but obviously she's quite talented, so I'm impressed. Well done, Xtina.
Thank you.
Gosh.
Thank you.
I think that was Xtina.
Oh, of course. I'll try to answer.
Okay. I mean, to my mind, many of your poems tell a story, and lately some seem like horror shorts. I kind of feel like you're on the brink of writing short stories or novellas, maybe horror ones. What do you think?
See, you know, that's when I was younger, you know, like 8, 9 years old. That's what I wanted to do was I used to say I wanted to be the next Stephen King. So, you know, poetry was just something I did when I was, you know, a teen, and I got my little heart broken, and I, you know, wanted to write my, you know, all my angst and stuff. But it was always, you know, writing fiction and writing horror that I wanted to do. But, you know, and it's funny because being a writer, you know, James has talked about this before, where, you know, at the most randomest times you'll have a character or a scene or something pop into your head, and
sure.
So I've been playing around. Yeah, I've been playing around with you know, a character and stuff, and I don't know. We'll see. You know, I need we'll see. You know, maybe, yeah.
I remember Xtina sent me like a half of a erotic or dark erotic short story, which I don't think she's ever finished. But and it was really good. I mean, you know, you really should actually. And you know, we even toyed around with co-writing, but I don't play well with others, unfortunately. I have no patience. So I think I've co-written with one person once, and to be fair, it went well. And that story actually ended up in our first comic book, funnily enough, which came out last month. And also a short story. But, that's the one and only time. I'm happier on my own, but sorry, excuse me. Just need to do a shout out to Tara James, who's just messaged us to say hi. So hi to Tara there. Thank you for getting it. She's listening to. We've got 2 listeners now, which is phenomenal. And I'm. Hi Tara, we love you. So okay, we're gonna have a quick break because we've got to pay these messages and whatnot, and we will be back with P and RD and J and X straight after this.
Panic Room Radio Show is sponsored by Hellbound Books, purveyors of all manner of dark fiction. You can find the publisher along with links to all their available works across platforms at hellboundbookspublishing.com. Hellbound Books is proud to be the first in the indie publishing business with a very own app on both Google Play and the App Store. In the mood for something steamy to read, check out new erotica author Jennifer Lynn's website at jenniferlynnerotica.com. You can find James at his website, www.jameslongmore.com, and Xtina has an author page found on the Hellbound website. Don't forget to follow the Panic Room Radio Show on social media. Our Facebook page, Unofficial The Panic Room Radio Show, Twitter at Panic Room Radio, our YouTube channel, The New Panic Room Radio Show, and come visit our website at www.panicroomradio.com.
Aruba, Jamaica, ooh, I wanna take you. Bermuda, Bahama, come on, pretty mama. Key Largo, Montego, baby, why don't we go? Jamaica, off the Florida Keys. There's a place called Kokomo. That's where you wanna go to get away from it all. Bodies in the sand, tropical drinks melting in your hand. We'll be falling in love to the rhythm of the steel drum band. Down in Kokomo, Jamaica, ooh, I wanna take you to Everybody knows a little place like Kokomo. Now if you wanna go and get away from it all, go down to Kokomo. Aruba, Jamaica, ooh, I wanna take you to Bermuda, Bahamas. Come on, pretty mama, Key Largo, Montego, baby, why don't we...
Welcome back to part 2.
That for me, that is Christmas music. All the rest of it with jingle bells and that can just fuck off. Seriously. Oh, I've dropped my glasses. I really there is one Christmas music one Christmas song that I actually like, which is Wizard. I wish it could be Christmas every day. Which, to be fair, that the sentiment I hate, but that is it's a great tune. It's a great tune. But everything else is just shite. I mean, I don't like the do they know it's Christmas Band-Aid thing? And about starving Africans.
Yeah.
It's depressing.
No,
we don't think about starving Africans at Christmas, to be honest. And to be fair, the song, do they know it's Christmas? They probably don't care, to be honest. So just leave it. Stop playing it. They keep bringing it out every bloody year and everything. It's just like Christmas music. And it's funny, there's one Slade. It's Christmas or whatever it's called. Noddy Holder, who wrote that, is obviously a British band back in the 70s. So that's his pension. And it gets played every year, obviously, over and over again. And on royalties, he makes about £500,000 a year just on the royalties.
Wow.
He's retired on that. And that's his, it's called Merry Christmas, Everyone, or something. It's just, it's got Christmas in it, and it's just like, fuck off. Stop playing this shite and just don't. And everywhere you go, it's Christmas music, and I hate it. So, bar humbug from Jay. So, anywho, we have. I want P to bring on her guest, because obviously, P is now co-host of the show. So, P, come on, wrap it up and give him a big build-up. Go for it.
Okay. He is a multi-genre, award-winning, best-selling author of many, many books in all different categories, mid-grade to adult, and also has a Facebook Live show, very popular show called Writer's Circus, where he, uses a whip and a chair. And
I've seen those DVDs.
All different kinds of authors as Ringmaster Rusty. May I present the one, the only, the unfiltered, and, rarely politically correct, Artie Trimble, a.k.a. Steve McGovern. Yay!
Well, RD, Steve, but I'm afraid, P's introduction was so long, we've run out of time, so not really. How are you? I like that you're unfiltered, because as you know, if you listen to any of these shows, we just don't filter anything at all, ever, to be honest. So welcome.
Thanks. It's a thrill to be here. I'm sorry my voice is so a little hoarse. I'm just getting over the same cold you probably are too.
Oh, I'm still, I want to be better now. I've had it for 4 days now, and I'm ready to be not sick anymore. Because to be fair, I'm miserable most of the time, and I'm a grumpy old git most of the time. But when I don't do sick awfully well. Seriously, do not. No. I'm just a terrible ill person. So there you go. So what do we call you? Do we call you Steve? Do we call you RD? So I'm going to call you RD because we're all doing initials tonight.
RD is fine. Yeah, that's perfect. My name's Rusty, but RD is fine. It was something my original publisher came up with, and I went with it because my middle initial is D. So, it stands for Russell Dennis. But RD is perfectly fine. Whatever you want to call me. I've been called a lot of names before.
I know that one. And the funny thing is, I don't care. That's the thing. We do. I mean, we're not going to name names here, but over the past couple of years, we've been party to, or on the receiving end of venom from certain people. And you get to the point where you just don't give a shit. They're calling you all these names and saying you this and you that. Right. It's just like, yeah, okay, yeah, whatever, fine. In fact, we had one recently, and I'm dying to name names, and I'm in a mood to name names. If I'd had a beer or two, I would do. And he was giving it all this, and he went from personal stuff to threatening us with legal this and legal that. And eventually, I took it so long, I said, okay, fine, take us to court. Just fucking do it. You're going to do it anyway. Just do it. And he ran off like a pussy. He really did. And if you're listening, you're a pussy. And if anybody who knows what I'm talking about is listening, he's a pussy. He's got no balls at all. So there.
He was just a spoiled little boy.
That's what as soon as we turned around and said, we called his bluff, he just ran off like a little girl. And that's insulting to little girls, to be honest.
Right, it is.
Yeah. So I understand we have readings. Who's going to read first?
Well, Artie is here to talk to us. Yeah, he's here to talk to us about his book, Praying Moon, the Fall and Night Trilogy, Book 1. And, I love the tagline here. Mere myths cannot compare to the terror of reality, which reality is pretty scary. Yeah.
Reality is terrible. It really is. It horrifies me. So tell us some more about it, Artie.
Well, sure. So I'd never written horror before, and P. Mattern, kind of challenged me to try it because I'd done mainly young adult stuff. I have an autistic son who I began writing stories for about 10 years ago, and kind of got me into becoming an author. And I mentioned that horror sounded like a lot of fun when I got to know her, and she said I should try it. And I've always been a big aficionado of werewolf stories, and there's not that many of them out there. And so I just kind of came together with this. And the fun part about Praying Moon, in my opinion, is that every person in that book is a friend of mine that I killed, or well, pretty much, yeah. Every character in that. Every character except the main character in the book is someone that is a friend of mine, or that gave me permission to go ahead and kill him in the book. And some of them even gave me some pretty colorful suggestions, not all of which I felt I could use, as you may guess. But like Pamela Pulsifer Swan, who Mama Thang knows, and P. Mattern knows very well, helped
Love
me
you, Pamela.
She's my BFFF, best friend from Florida. She actually is my proofreader. She's also one of the main characters in it, and she's co-writing the sequel, which is called Domino Effect, which takes place a year after the events in Praying Moon. But at the same time, I think most authors do this. There's certain people that have done them wrong in the past, and so there's a few people in the book that either one of my friends that's in the book mentioned to me, or someone that I dealt with personally, that I've always wanted to, I'll be honest, pettily get revenge on, and so I made a slight change to their name or flip things around so I knew who it was and made sure it was something brutal, just for petty self-amusement. And there's someone in there that that Pamela wanted removed. There's someone that I removed. There's someone that my friend Sandy wanted removed. And I actually kind of threw a call up there, like, hey, anybody else? And I got a lot of volunteers. It was pretty funny. So it's kind of it's my first delve into horror, but it's also a dark comedy as well, because I have a sick sense of humor.
He's funny. RD is funny.
And I like that in my horror.
I like that. Yeah. Yeah.
So I want to hear more. Do you have an excerpt for us, RD?
Yeah, I actually have chapter 1, which is not. It kind of ho-hums into the horror part. It just kind of introduces you to the characters and kind of the. A lot of this takes place in Arizona, where I used to live for about 5 years, and I'm trying to think of the best way to put this, but I guess since it's unfiltered, I'm just going to say that a lot of the people I knew in Arizona would be blue collar at best, and I don't like to use the term redneck because it's not exactly accurate, but a lot of the people I've worked with are the people when you hear the expression, and pardon me for saying this, you hear the expression people wearing wife beaters, those shirts, A lot of the people I used to work with on the assembly line, when I was out there going to college, I was working on an assembly line making airbag inflators, which I kind of cast in this book. There was people there that that would be a dentist's either nightmare or dream patient. Half the people there look like people you're like, look just like what you figure. Like I commented in that picture, you know, they have a mouth that looks like a jack-o'-lantern. And so now most of the friends that I put in this book were a little bit, I'm not going to say superior to that because that's arrogant or, you know, kind of conceited, but a lot of people I work with were like, oh my God, these people really exist. But so that's it. It introduces kind of the dark, kind of nasty sense of humor that a lot of my friends had. I mean, when I moved out to Arizona in the early '90s, I had never used a curse word in my life, and within 2 weeks, I was the kind of guy that would walk into a bar and people would be run out screaming because of my language.
Nice.
Maybe it's quite exaggeration, but yeah, it's really quick how fast an assembly line will change the way you talk because it's pretty much it's the culture there. Mm-hmm. But anyways, I have chapter 1 here. It's kind of a long chapter, so I can just read until you tell me to stop or whatever you think.
Yeah, that's okay. Good. Yeah.
Xtina will tell you when you've you know.
Oh God.
Xtina, your safe word is stop.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So yeah, you can just tell me to shush whenever you're ready, and I can go and start whenever you like.
Okay, it's all yours.
Okay, so it's chapter 1. Sorry, my voice is trying to hang in there.
I know your pain.
And my kids are in the background. The roads are relatively clear under the sun-draped sky. Oh, Andrew? That's my son. Sorry.
Hi, Andrew.
Hi, Andrew. And hi to you too, Tyler. He says hi. Anyway, the driver squinted a little at the bit of daylight reflected off the asphalt as he navigated along the single-lane road which wound about the mountains not far from Payson, Arizona. He gently stroked his reddish-brown beard and pointed over at his glove compartment. Hey, reach in there and grab my shades, will you? Brandon, the man leaning against the passenger side door, leaned forward, opened it up, and pulled out a pair of cheap imitation aviators. He gave them a disdainful look and handed them over, muttering, Bob, you are a cheap bastard. Yeah, your mother said the same thing about me last night. I told her you got to swallow if you want more than $5. Yeah, he replied, smiling and pointed off into the distance, laughing. Hey, look, yellow snow. All three men in the truck laughed. Snow was still spotted here and there on the sides of the road, but it was largely melted, being more slush in form than anything, but leaving specks of white, and a little yellow, on the trees, rocks, and a few scattered spots on the road. Turning the corner, Bob pressed down on the, I'm trying to turn the page, on the gas pedal a little harder, and the 318 cubic inch V8 engine responded with a loud roar from the rear of the vehicle. The truck was a 1968 Dodge D100 pickup, which was largely all original, except for a new paint job and the recently added dual exhaust pipes, complete with the illegal cherry bomb mufflers. These did a rather efficient job of announcing its presence as Bob left some tread around a hairpin turn, spooking a wild turkey that had made the inopportune, yet not fatal decision to cross the road at that moment. The large fowl, a goose turkey with its distinctive red head, long legs and white-tipped tail, had heard the rumble of the truck's engine and sprinted away rapidly, even as its year-old Marlin blue paint job came barreling down the road at a steady 45 miles an hour, just managing to avoid becoming roadkill. Excuse me. Whoa, that was close, the driver yelled. I spent over $500 on the paint job for this classic baby, and I do not need blood and feathers messing it up. The man in the middle, named Aaron, gave Bob a puzzled look. By the way, Bob is my best friend in the whole world, so I have a lot of fun at his expense in this book, just because it's what I did to my best friend. Bob, if your truck is so valuable, won't shooting an elk and loading it in your truck kind of a paint job? He smiled. Aaron, relax that lady of yours. I got a tarp that I'll drape over it. Don't worry your balding head over it, okay? Aaron did not care for the remark. His hair was almost bleached blonde, but he had begun receding early. It had been a constant topic of humor had at his expense by the men in the truck with him. Constantly balding jokes, along with calling him meat, as he was sandwiched between the two of them. He forced himself not to give Bob a dirty look and instead replied, Okay, just checking, dude. Bob, the driver, was a thick-set man with brown hair that reached to just above his shoulders. His thick beard almost always had a wide smile behind it. His nose and left eyebrow were pierced, as was his tongue. He also had a tattoo of a dingo on his right arm and one of a grizzly on his left. Hey, just fucking with you, Aaron. Don't get upset. Yeah, sorry, I'm a bit insecure about my hair. You should shave it bald. I mean, look at me. Brandon, leaning against the door, chimed in. He was medium height but skinnier, with his head shaved completely bald, literally using a razor to make it smooth enough to reflect the sunlight. His only visible hair was from the goatee he sported. No thanks. Knowing you two fuckers, I'd probably wake up with an 8-ball painted on my head. Bob laughed. Now, I would want a color that would glow under the black light, like the 1-ball. They all laughed, and the truck was filled with the air of forced relaxation. Aaron had been friends with the two for only a few weeks, but working together on a local assembly line as part of a team which built inflators for passenger-side airbags. It was a dull, repetitive, and mind-numbing job fit only for barely educated men and women with just enough brains to manage a GED or high school diploma, but it paid well. Aaron was
okay, we're going to stop right there. I feel really bad for you. Yeah. Yes, that's when I could feel for you as you're reading. I'm like, oh, the poor guy, we're making him read this long. Yeah, that was great. You know, I am a sucker for a good dialogue. You know, and I find that there's so many times. Yes, so many times when you're reading something, you hear over and over, he said, she said, and it just sounds so wooden so much. You're like, people don't talk like that. So I like that.
I find that. I mean, we obviously read a lot of submissions and what have you, and you think, do these people never listen to a conversation? Do they never have a conversation because it's so filtered? I think one of the problems is people try to put too much exposition into conversation rather at the expense of it sounding realistic. Personally, I would rather it flow like that. It flow, because that helps build the picture anyway. You just slip in little bits of exposition here and there. But yeah, you're right. Actually, you see, he said shit, and then he said bigly. Yeah. And he said viciously. He said, and it's all these fucking Lee, just stop it, people. Yeah. You know, I have a big crusade. I mean, I do, I guess my day job, I do editing, I do ghostwriting. I have a big crusade against Lee, was it the pronouns, whatever they call them, whatever.
Oh, gosh.
Not proper.
Adverbs.
Adverbs, that's it. Adverbs, with nervously.
Oh, why? Oh, my God.
Slyly, and he said orgasmically, and stop it.
Oh, I have so much fun. I have so much fun when I'm editing, taking them out. I do. I get a thrill. Like, that one's gone.
I always go back, go back to the author and say, if you in your first draft, chuck them all in, yeah? And then when you go through your second draft, think of ways you can take them out and still say the same thing.
Yes.
A, it's a lot of fun.
Yes.
B, it increases your vocabulary. And C, it makes it read a hell of a lot better.
It does. It really does.
But then again, you get people who just do, dialogue, and they don't even think to. You can have page after page, and you lose track of who's saying. Especially when there's more than two people.
Yes.
You kind of lose track of who's saying what to who, and that. So you just every now and then you do need to throw it in a little bit, but yeah. Anyway, I want to hear P read, because I love P, and I love P reading.
Me too. She's one of my favorite authors.
Well, I gotta say that RD is at a disadvantage tonight with he's got the terrible, whatever it is, heebie-jeebie, germy, whatever it is. But he is one of the most excellent voice performers that I have ever heard read anything, and everybody says so. And authors just get chills. Because he can impersonate different voices for different characters on a fresh read, which is totally skillful. He's got mad skills for that. So, hopefully you will have him on again where he can, not be dying.
Definitely. Definitely, we definitely should do this again.
That would be great.
And you know, speaking of really good voices, he should audition for you know, some of the audiobooks that Hellbound has.
Oh, he could so do audiobooks.
Yeah, we have some books that are looking for some good, you know, narrators right now.
Yeah.
Oh my God, RD would be perfect.
Well, thanks. That'd be a thrill.
RD.
If my voice ever comes back.
Hopefully it will.
Well, we were determined to get the last of it tonight.
Well, the funny thing about the one thing about having children is they love to share colds.
Oh, there you go. You have little kids and they go to public school and then they bring home the plague. So that's kind of how
it's like
that
a warm
works.
petri dish.
Yep, that's what we call my daughter Typhoid Mary, because she brings it home and then she's well again in 24 hours, and the rest of us suffer.
Exactly. 100% true.
Oh my gosh.
So Pete's here to talk to us about about a house in Vermont, and it was a short story in our anthology that was so good and creepy, and I loved it. And I would we want to hear an excerpt. We want to hear about it.
Awesome. Well, this was inspired by the reason I started writing with Lynn Legaki-Gauthier, is because she was telling me in this writers group about the weekend she'd had. She and her husband had to move to Vermont, and they had to locate. They were checking out farmhouses in Vermont. She lived at the time in New Hampshire, and she was saying they got car problems, and her husband had to go up to a farmhouse, and he came back and said he'd actually met the farmer's daughter. It was just a bizarre weekend, and I said to her, you have to write this. This is the beginning of a great horror story. And she said, oh, I don't know, I'd like to, but, and we decided to collaborate on it, and that's how it happened, and now it's well on its way to becoming a full-length novel from the original short story. But anyway, without further ado, this is A House in Vermont by P. Mattern and L. Gauthier. The tagline is, Making Love with the Devil Hurts. I love it so much. Anyway, blurb, Lynn and Mike find their dream home in the lush farmlands of Vermont just in time for Mike to start a new job. They look forward to raising their only child, Quentin, who has been diagnosed with autism in the pleasant rural setting. But soon after they move into their dream home, their dreams become the stuff of nightmares. The original tenants are still there. Time and space seem to have lost all relevance, and the horrors they confront threaten to unravel the very fabric of their sanity. It was their dream home, but every room harbored a nightmare. Okay. A House in Vermont. Late spring in Vermont may not be as spectacular as the fall, but nevertheless it has its own charm. As we drove that day through the countryside, I rolled down my window to better appreciate the smell of clean country air and admire the flowering trees and bushes. The meadows were a vibrant green that reminded me of hope and new beginnings. Appropriate because my husband had taken a new job, and we had traveled to Vermont looking for a house to move into. We were meandering and checking out homes for sale, but up to that point we hadn't seen anything that grabbed us. Nothing about the way that day started could have given me a clue as to how it would end. Out of my peripheral vision, I saw something fluttering. When I turned, I realized the occupants of a car traveling alongside us were waving desperately, trying to get my attention. Uh-oh, I said desperately. That had an L-Y on it, James. I rolled down the window. Their mouths were moving, and though both cars were in motion, the wind in between carrying their voices away, I caught the word smoke What are they saying? My husband wanted to know. He was still driving, reticent to pull over since we were definitely in the boonies. No cell phone service, and with a few ominous clouds rolling in. I knew what he was thinking. I was thinking the same thing. It was a desolate stretch of road with the farmhouses tucked way back from the roadside. If someone tried to force us over and rob us, no one could hear us call for help. We were both thinking of that movie, Deliverance, dueling banjos and inbred marauders attacking folks that happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. But the faces in the other car looked alarmed for us, so I was inclined to be a believer. Pull over, I told him. They say the car is smoking. Mike slowed down and pulled onto the shoulder of the road. I thought the people waving us down would pull over also, but they just breezed past. The woman on the passenger side that had done the most waving, shooting me an apologetic look in the nanosecond that our eyes met. There was an acrid, smoky odor in the air as Mike and I exited. It was a warm day, and before he turned the car off, he lowered the windows. Our autistic son, Quentin, had fallen asleep in the back seat. He was resting comfortably in between two bolster pillows and had gotten bored with the scenery and the signing games I tried to play with him. And that's it. All you get is a teaser beginning.
That's just me.
But, yeah, a lot of creepy things happen, a lot. Yeah, I mean, you know, you can get a taste of it in Demons, Devils, and Denizens of Hell 2, but I would recommend, you know, whenever we get this finished and you guys get a hold of it and whip it into the best shape possible, you know, I would recommend everybody read it because it's pretty riveting.
Actually, I'm looking forward to it. I enjoyed the short story, so that's going to be even better.
Yeah. It's even creepier knowing that
we added a whole story. Yeah, we added a whole, you know, bunch of new material. You know, I'm kind of like Xtina Marie. I love stories that are about haunted places, any kind of place, bridges, homes, especially palatial homes, schools. I thought in Tenebrion, that elementary school, that abandoned elementary school where tragedy had taken place, you know, was like the perfect setting for something else to happen, you know, and kind of set the stage. I love haunted objects too. It's kind of like on my to-do list this year to write something about a haunted object because that stuff really happens. And I'm a believer because I, you know, as research for some of the horror that I write, especially Strident House, which was inspired by an actual place here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, where I did kind of off-site programming for a while for a mental health facility here. And it's got a reputation. It's listed in Indiana's Most Haunted. And it's huge. It's absolutely huge. It's like the Overlook Hotel in The Shining. I mean, and there are entire wings that they have roped off because there's so much paranormal activity that they can't really use those parts of the building.
Oh, wow.
So
I would
that
love
inspired
to say something like that. I would love to say something like that, definitely.
I know. It's so creepy. When I worked there, you could feel, okay, one time we had to take an alternative elevator off the beaten path, and it was an elevator right off of the cordoned off entire wing. And this place was huge. It was like a labyrinth. And as we were waiting for the elevator, we looked at each other because you could feel this oppressive atmosphere. And I said, "Do you feel that?" And she said, "Hell yeah." And two nurses that had gotten stuck, because, medical people, they get stuck if like it snows heavily and stuff, they have to work double shift. They had picked a room in one of the abandoned wings to sleep in and stow their gear, and they were trying to stow their gear, and the wardrobe door was stuck, and they kept pulling on it, and then they both heard something growl.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
like growl.
That's it for me.
Yeah, and so they decided not to.
Instead
of sleeping in the staff lounge.
Yeah.
But I did some investigations with Indiana Network of Paranormal Studies, which is like a paranormal investigative group, and we went to places like 200-year-old houses in Anderson, Indiana, and I got to smell things, see things, and actually feel things. There was one room that you walked into, you feel like you were covered in spider webs.
Wow. Ew.
Yeah. So I think having experiences like that kind of helps with your writing, because you're coming from a very authentic place of being scared shitless.
Yeah.
Right.
I would love to go somewhere and feel that. Like say for inspiration, it would be phenomenal. It would give you enough for several books at the very least. Yeah.
Well, I hate this, but we're gonna have to wrap things up here because it's almost time for the show to be over, and it's sad because we should have. I know. The next time I have P on, we're gonna have an open show. We're not gonna have any timelines or nothing. It's just gonna be whatever happens. We'll end it when we want to. Yeah.
We should be never.
Right. So I know. So tell us real quick where we can find you online.
I have a Facebook page, Patricia Nat. I also have a book for my best-selling series that has thousands of people on it. It's called the Full Moon Series, and that is on Facebook also. That book page. I'm not a tech person, but if you go to either of those, you can find links to other pages and also my website and stuff like that. But thank you so much for having us on, and thank you, RT, for being a trooper. I'm so sorry, Lynn Lagaki Gauthier.
Yeah, we will have you both.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, my co-writer, Lynn Lagaki Gauthier. She had a death in the family. She couldn't be here, but she's here in spirit, and thank you so much for letting us talk about the book, and you've got to have RD back.
We will. We'll have both of you back. And thank you for giving my book a big plug as well. That was very
Well, I'm going to do more than that. I'm going to be really talking it up because I want to reread it. I've read so many bad books since then that I truly appreciate it even more than I did the first time.
Thank you.
Yeah, we definitely.
And Xtina, keep writing because your take on The Night Before Christmas is brilliant.
Thank you.
I love that poem. It was a good old poem, that. Enjoyed it.
I love it.
I love a poem. Well, I'm afraid it is that time of the evening we have to say good night, Xtina. So, good night, Xtina.
Good night, Xtina.
Good night, P. We love you.
Oh, we love you too. Mwah.
Oh yeah, I'm the great pretender. Pretend one can tell. Oh, yeah, I'm the great pretender, adrift in a world of my own. I play the game, but to my real shame, you've left me to dream all alone. Real is the feeling of make-believe. Too real when I feel what my heart can't conceal. Oh, yeah, I'm the great pretender. You're clapping and gay like a clown. I seem to be what I'm not. You see, I'm wearing my heart like a crown, pretending that you're still around.